We help a ton of house hackers here on my team, and today I'm going to talk about how you can house hack here today in Austin, Texas in 2024 and of course through 2025. So house hacking, really simply, before we get into the video too far, house hacking is buying a property and renting out any space that you're not using. So this could be as simple as buying a single family house in the neighborhood you want to be in and renting out all the rooms except your own. Or, like I did 4 times myself, buying a duplex or a quadplex and renting out all the other units. With those strategies too, with the duplex, quadplex, you can also rent out the rooms in your unit. So you're going to need to get a little creative. We're going to talk about that more as we get into this video. So again, house hacking, the goals. The number one goal that I always had is for house hacking was that when I moved out of the property, it was going to be cash flow positive. Because I was trying to build a rental portfolio through house hacking. And if I move out and I have to pay, it doesn't work. But while I'm in the property, I also want to save as much money as possible. So I always had a goal that I wanted to live for under $1,000 a month. And your goal is going to be whatever it is. I recommend saying, hey, I want to live for at or less what my current rent is. Understanding that paying the mortgage, you're also paying down principal and you're also getting tax benefits, versus with your rent, you're just paying the landlord and you're not getting anything for it. So paying a mortgage, you're always going to win. But if you can live for less than your rent would be, and you can also have a cash flowing rental when you move out, that's amazing. Not to mention that with house hacking, you get to use those 3 to 5% down loans and buy a rental property you only have to live in for a year for 3 to 5% down versus 20 to 25% down if you're going to buy that rental property and never live in it. So again, love house hacking. One of the most powerful strategies you can do. It's a cheap, low down payment, low risk way to get into rental property investing that also has a lot of benefits while you're in it. So on to how to make house hacking work today. And I talk to new house hackers all the time. I talk to new rental property investors in Austin all the time. And the story's kind of similar, and it has been for quite a while, but everybody's just entering the market. So if you're looking into the market, you're new, you're saying, well, I can't house hack here anymore. I can't invest here anymore. That's just not the truth. You just have to understand how people are making investments work here right now. So what doesn't work very easily in Austin? And I say doesn't work very easily because it's easy to say that doesn't work at all. That's just not true. But what doesn't work very easily is buying a property. Let's say you buy a single family or a duplex, and when you move out, just long-term renting everything. So if you buy a single family home in Austin, just for easy numbers, let's call it $400,000 for the house. The rent is $2,000. Anybody listening to this probably knows that your mortgage on a $400,000 house in Austin, Texas is going to be more than $2,000 a month if you put 5% down. And you're probably right. Same thing on a duplex. Let's say you spent $500,000 and your gross rent from both units is $3,400 because you've got two bedroom units. They each rent for $1,700. It's a little bit on the lower side, but let's just use it for a nice, easy number. Your mortgage is probably going to be more than $3,400. It's probably going to be more like $4,000 for a $500,000 duplex in Austin. So how do you make house hacking work? You're saying, Jordan, it doesn't work. You just outlined exactly why it doesn't work. But how you make it work is getting creative with your rental strategies. And again, this has always been the case in Austin as long as I've been here. So since 2016, it's not been easy. As long as I've been paying attention, it's not been easy to make long-term rentals cash flow in Austin. So what you have to do to have positive cash flow is get creative with your rental strategies. And by doing this, you can have great positive cash flow too. So I didn't understand this when I got into it. I was just making them work 2016 through 2018 in Austin, and they were barely cash flowing, but they worked. I made a couple $100 a month. When I switched to more creative rental strategies like short-term rentals, medium-term rentals, and co-living, that's when my cash flow jumped and the deal started to look amazing. Anything started to work. And nothing, it's just not that case where anything doesn't work because interest rates are higher, but it's much easier to find them. If you look at a property and say, I'm going to do co-living, I'm going to rent out each room, or I'm going to buy a duplex, I'm going to run one side as a short-term rental, and I'm going to live in one. or I'm going to run one side as a medium-term rental, I'm going to live in one, and I'm going to get a roommate in mine. So again, to make house hacking work today, you have to get creative with the strategies. Think about, how can I maximize the cash flow from this property? It's never going to be long-term rentals. That's not the way to maximize the cash flow. Every property is different. Try to apply different strategies here, like co-living, short-term rental, medium-term rental. Figure out what resonates most with you personally, and figure out what's going to fit best on this property. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. Make sure to like and subscribe here. And again, if you ever need anything, email me here at jordan.moorhead@kw.com.